Senator Cruz, you talk about the importance of defeating ISIS. But I've been saying for a long time, and I know it's very unpopular, the only force on earth that is going to defeat ISIS is the United States of America. I do not think that sending arms to the Kurds or trying to arm the Iraqis is going to do it. It seems to be kind of a cheap answer that a lot of Republicans are giving to avoid answering this question. Will you send boots on the ground to defeat that satanic force in the Middle East?
Grace, thank you for that question. And let me observe briefly, I'm going to answer it momentarily, but I do want to observe something, Jeff. Having met your wife, having met your beautiful children, I am certain that you nightly say the same prayer to Almighty God that I make, which is, thank God my daughters look like my wife. Proof that God is indeed a benevolent God. You know, your question is a very important one, and I think the answer of specific steps of military strategy should not be dictated by political objectives, but rather by military necessity. So here's how I think the decision-making should work. It is the commander-in-chief's responsibility to lay out the objective. The objective on January 20th, 2017, will be destroy ISIS. Altogether defeat them. Now, for the specific military steps necessary to do so, I would not pretend to be an armchair general. I don't have the decades of experience leading troops in battles that our military leadership has, and so the first step a commander-in-chief should do is ask the military to develop a plan to aggressively, seriously take them out. When it comes to boots on the ground, you've got some politicians in Washington saying definitely yes, boots on the ground. You've got other politicians in Washington saying definitely no, boots on the ground. I think that should be driven by what's militarily necessary to accomplish the task. I can tell you, I've had a number of briefings with senior military leaders, and when I pressed them on what would be necessary to do that, they've described a number of key elements. They've said, number one, overwhelming air power. Rather than a pinprick bomb here or there, using the incredible air superiority. Number two, although it may not solve all of the problems, I do believe a very important step is arming the Kurds. The Kurds are right now fighting against ISIS. They are our friends. They are our allies. They have been so for decades. ISIS is using American military equipment that they seized in Iraq. The Kurds have weapons that are outclassed, and they are right now boots on the ground risking their lives. It is idiocy that the Obama administration refuses to arm the Kurds. Number three, military leadership has said that it may well make sense to embed special forces to a greater degree to direct forward air power. That's what leadership is telling me now is needed. And I think the question of boots on the ground should be driven by the military steps that are needed to accomplish the objective. The objective should be defeating them. The objective should be, I want the reaction. If you're a young Muslim male and someone asks, do you want to join ISIS? I want the reaction to be the same as if someone says, do you want to buy a ticket on the Titanic? And it is only the American military that can make this clear. If you join ISIS, we can promise you, you're going to meet your 72 virgins.